This is the wrap-up for the live market open for Thursday, June 2nd. Markets are moving, and today we have big events, especially for euro-dollar. But let's begin with the top. Non-farm payrolls expectations are unchanged after an okay manufacturing PMI in the United States. OPEC oil prices are rising as we speak. Rumors about quotas making new friends and bridges, a more relaxed atmosphere, but I'm not convinced that we'll really have an agreement, at least not now. Brexit polls are pushing back against the Remain campaign. Looks very, very tight and weighing on the pound. And the yen is strengthening because of another fall in the Nikkei in Japanese stocks, continuing the move from yesterday. Yesterday's figures, well, one thing that stood out for me is that milk in New Zealand, the GDT global dairy trade, had a second consecutive rise, and that supported the kiwi. And other figures were basically balanced and didn't have such a big impact. Today's calendar, we had a beat on Spanish employment, a bit supportive for the euro. We have UK construction PMI at 8:30 GMT. Should be a small distraction from the Brexit, and it's not the most important PMI. The most important one is coming out tomorrow. The main events, ECB rate decision the decision itself is at 11:45. Our live coverage begins at 11:30. At 12:15, we have the ADP non-farm payrolls. Big event big hint for the non-farm payrolls tomorrow. To answer Jack's questions, pairs to watch, of course, euro-dollar. Two hints for the non-farm payrolls, jobless claims, more importantly, ADP, and the ECB rate decision all at the same time. Clearly, euro-dollar, I'm also frustrated with the recent ranges, so I wanted to explode. Draghi's press conference at 12:30. We'll cover the main points soon. And a speech by Mark Carney, the governor of the Bank of England, at 1 GMT, and crude oil inventories. I believe they could be positive. That means negative for oil. And in general, I'm skeptical about this rise in oil prices. To talk about the ECB, no policy changes are expected because we're just now beginning the implementation of corporate bond buys and the TLTRO2, which, well, I'm skeptical about that as well. But corporate bond buys should make a difference. And the ECB in general is in a sort of wait-and-see mode. If we have a wait-and-see mode, it should be slightly positive for the euro, nothing earth-shattering. The biggest figure to watch, the biggest event in the press conference comes at the beginning with fresh forecasts. Once every 3 months, we have fresh forecasts. I believe we'll have stronger growth figures, but lower inflation. Lower inflation could weigh on the euro. Other things to watch are some relief for Greece, a waiver for accepting Greek bonds as collateral, open door to more moves. The door will likely remain relatively shut, at least for now. Helicopter money, probably not in the statement, but we'll have a question about that. If Draghi said they had a discussion about that, it'll be very negative for the euro. They probably didn't have a discussion. He'll deny it once again. Remember, don't believe anything until it's fully denied. But, well, the ECB moves slowly. And one thing that I want to put on the agenda, I put on the agenda yesterday to Yanis Varoufakis, is helicopter money, and he answered with that the ECB should buy EIB bonds, European Investment Bank. That would be more legal and more helpful to the Eurozone economies. Okay, so yeah, that's the main event for today, clearly. That was a quick preview as well. Remember, we have always a full recording of the show, a recording of the special segment, which was a more detailed ECB preview and of the wrap-up. Before we finish the wrap-up, we didn't talk about currency pairs in the wrap-up as we do as usual. 112.50 is the next line of resistance on euro-dollar, followed by 113.35. Support 111.80, weak support 111.30, also weak, and strong support at 110.70, followed by 110. Hopefully, we'll see bigger movements in euro-dollar today, not the regular 50 to 70 pips. Pound-dollar looks to be bouncing, at least for now. 143.70 is support, 145 resistance, high resistance 145.80, 146.50. Low support 142.80. Dollar yen under 109 at the moment. 108.25 is support. 110.50 is resistance. Dollar CAD erasing some of the previous lines. Very choppy. 131.70 and 130 are lines to watch. Further support 129.10 on the downside. Aussie dollar 72.22 at the moment. Very clear resistance there at around 73 number. 71.75 is support, followed by 71.40. The Kiwi dollar 68 at the moment, suffering a slide. It went up very nicely yesterday on that but better second consecutive rise in milk prices. 68.40 is resistance. 67 and 67.20 and 66.70 are lines of support. Okay. Thank you everybody for coming. I see more questions here. Greek Central Bank has mint for $10 euro notes only. Yeah, because the mint are spread out across the continent. Again, if they move to a different currency, this mint for 10 euro note will not be really useful. Okay. Yeah. Oh, that's interesting. Thanks for sharing. We have here Ed shares with us a document from the ECB telling us where coins and banknotes are produced. Okay. Yeah, it's interesting. So regarding coins, well, spread out in Belgium, Germany, Greece, Spain, Estonia, France, basically all over. Thank you for that. Anyway, thank you very much for coming. Today, hopefully, we'll have a big day in markets. Hopefully, we'll have euro dollar move. Remember, the pound will move on polls, the Canadian dollar on changes in oil, which today, with the conclusion of OPEC and with the crude oil inventories, it should also be interesting. And we'll have a shape up of expectations for tomorrow's non-farm payrolls. The dollar is not shining as it did in May, but I wouldn't say it's collapsing. All right, that's it. So I hope to see everybody in the live coverage for the ECB beginning at 11:30 GMT. And that's it. Thank you. Have a great day in markets, and see you soon. Ciao. Bye-bye.